First, to introduce myself, my name is Georgi Bilyukov and I'm a solutions architect at Hedgehog Development and Sitecore Technology MVP. Today, I'll be talking about continuous integration and continuous delivery with Hedgehog 2 suite, or I'll be talking about application lifecycle management. But first of all, I will go through our products and explain a bit about them. First of all, who knows TDS, Team Development for Sitecore? Okay, everybody knows it. TDS is a Sitecore serialization tool built for Visual Studio. It's a plugin, and it allows your Sitecore items and metadata items to live together with your code base. It has options for continuous integration and for local deployments when you follow the Sitecore best practices and you work outside of the web root. Okay, let's check the benefits of using TDS. First, we have independent configuration for each environment. That means that you have different settings for your QA, for your dev environment, for your staging, etc. So, when you work with TDS and a new member comes to the team, you don't need to restore databases or to move some content with packages. You just right-click on the TDS project, click deploy, and he's ready to go. No long setups, no database restores. You're ready to go on the go. Yeah, we don't need manual packaging with TDS since everything lives there. TDS reduces the risks for user error because it visualizes the differences in your Sitecore database and the things that you have in your TDS project. And in that way, it's really hard to forget to deploy some initial template or something like this. It's, as I said, it's really good for continuous integration and continuous deployments. The thing that I will show now, and my best feature, code generation. Actually, who uses code generation with TDS? Okay, yeah, TDS can generate your POC objects, wrapping up your templates. In that way, you save development time because you don't have every time to create your POCs with properties. It automatically generates them and you can use them. Okay? So, now demo. Since most of you have used TDS, I will show some of them more advanced features. Okay, here what I have. I've set it up a test website called Hedgehog News Local. Here is my dev instance. I have development instance, and here I have a QA instance, which I will use later on. So the thing that I will show you is automatic template sync in TDS. That means when you are adding templates in Sitecore, they're automatically added in TDS. TDS watches your instance, and if something has been added there, it adds it automatically. So here I have TDS master project. I will expand it. Expand the templates and, for instance, expand something less. Okay, expand the interfaces or the pages. Now I will go in Sitecore and add something in pages. Okay, components, Hedgehog News, pages, and I will go and add one new template. How to call it? We'll call it Hedgehog, of course. Okay, it will be here and close. Still takes its time, and I will and name and breed. Hedgehogs also have breed, so and maybe age. Okay, I will save that template and we'll go back in Visual Studio to check what's going on with my templates. As you can see, under Pages template folder, the template that I just created has been automatically added. It's really cool, and again, it saves time. Sometimes you may add something involuntary in TDS and in source control, so be careful with that feature. In order to get it working, you should go in Tools, Options, go to Team Development for Sitecore, TDS, and you should enable autosync changes in Sitecore. It should be set it to true. Mine is true, but by default the setting is set to false. Okay. Any questions about this? No. Okay. Pretty enough. So the other really cool option that came from version 5.5 is automatic content file sync. That means if you're working on a content file and a content file is a file which build action is marked as content or the MVC views. So if you modify something on a content file and you save it, Hedgehog watches it and it will deploy it automatically to the web root. It really optimizes the development process because you don't have to deploy it to your local instance and your application pool won't be recycled. So you will see your change instantly. Okay, I will go and open the blog page and I will modify something there just to show you how it works. Yes, you can see here we have Hedgehog block, and I will go in Visual Studio and add something. For instance, I will add one #3, and inside of it I will for Sitecore professionals. Okay. I will set it as I'm here, and I saved it. If I go here, you can see that it's not really beautiful, but it works out pretty well. As you see, my site reloaded instantly. That means that my application pool hasn't been recycled, and I'm able to continue modifying my views. Really cool. Okay. So in order to get this working, you should go again in Tools, Options, TDS Options, and Content File Sync, and you should set it to true. Okay. I will make a note here. The configuration files, the web config and every other configuration files are also content files. So theoretically, if you modify a web config, it will get deployed as well to your web root, which will cause your application pool to be recycled. So be careful with that feature as well. Okay? Any questions about this? Yes? No, it's a global setting for all the TDS projects. Okay? Any other questions? Yeah, because normally you don't have web root folder where to deploy when you have other projects.
Yeah, that would be the exploration.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I will continue. The second product that I will be talking about is Razzle. Who knows Razzle? Okay, 2 people. Okay, Razzle is a desktop application for Sitecore database comparison. When you have 2 different instances, you can compare and see the change and see the differences in each. In that way, you can really quick move content back and forth, for instance, from your production or from your QA, CMS, CDS, or where you want. It gives As well, it gives user interface over the Sitecore history database. You know the Sitecore history engine, and you know that you don't have a way to check what you have in your history in Sitecore. Razzle solves that problem. So, Razzle can be used to move content from different environments. It can be also used to keep track of the content changes that your content team is delivering, because you can check the history engine and see what has been modified from a certain period of time, for instance, from the last week. It's really good for continuous delivery. I'll be talking about that feature later on. It's really good for troubleshooting because you can hook, for instance, on your CD and your CMS, compare the 2 instances and see which items are not published or which items are different. You can use Razzle to automate content synchronization. What does it mean? Imagine that you have a production environment when you have your CMS server, content management server. So your content team is working there. But it's always good to be testing with the production content, right? So with Razo, you can automate the synchronization and you can download the content that is on your production server to the lower environment. For instance, in QA, on dev, you see how this is happening. Okay, so now Razo demo. Okay. Open it. Okay, so first of all, we need to select the two Sitecore instances that we are going to compare. I will use my dev instance that I showed you, this one. And for the purposes of that demo, I've prepared the second Sitecore instance, Hedgehog news.qa, and I'm going to choose this one. Now we see the two content trees and we are able to compare it. When we are expanding items, automatically the children has been compared. And if I go in Hedgehog news, in home, and you can see, for instance, that this item, John, this item, is not present on my right instance, which is my QA. What I can do, I can just select this small arrow, and Razo will copy it for me. Actually, it won't copy, but it will create a task for copying this item. You can create many tasks, as you know, and execute them at once. Okay, I'll expand the news node. And you can see that, for instance, on my dev instance, I don't have news 4. I'm going to pick it up. Okay, and do all. You can see that the item appear if I go in my instance, in my QA instance here. And of course, go up and expand, you can see that John has appeared here. Razo is also good for comparison between the items to check which fields are different. For instance, I will go in my QA instance, choose that item, and change something. Sitecore take handy please. Okay. It's loading. Now I will collapse and expand this and go this step. Sure. You can go here and click on refresh. And you can see what is the item name? Oh yeah, news 4. And you can in blue you can see the fields that are different. And the fields that are different are the revision ID, which is pretty normal because it's generated again on every save, as you probably know, and the navigation title. You see that in my dev instance it's Sitecore MVPs, and the thing that I changed, Sitecore Tech MVPs. So I can grab just this change and do it. Okay. So this is the main functionality of Razo. As I said, it can be used for as an interface of the history engine. If we click on this history button here, you can see every changes that has been applied to this Hedgehog news dev instance. And the good thing is that you can select the item that has been changed and it will be automatically focused on Razo. In that way, you can keep track of the things that has been changed and, for instance, move them around the different instances, use them for development, etc. Okay? Any questions about Razo? If we have many different items or different structure at all. Yeah, if you have different structure, it doesn't make sense the two instances to be compared, because you can grab some items, you can compare them and grab some items for sure, but it's not a real use case. For instance, if you prefer, you can visualize all the differences that you have from a certain place. If I go here, for instance, on the news, and right-click and deep compare, Razo will find all the differences that we have between the two instances and show them to us. And you can see that I have this item is not present here, that item as well, and here we have a different item. Oh no, this is not present as well. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I assume not. Now, let's reach to the main topic, which is continuous integration and continuous deployments. So, but let's define the terms. What is continuous integration? Continuous integration is a software engineering practice in which isolated changes are immediately tested and reported on when they are added to a larger code base. Or continuous integration is a process where your code is being merged to the larger code base or to the code that is in source control. Let's check the diagram. So we have, everybody knows what is continuous integration, but we have source control server. We check in something, and then the code is being built and it's being tested. If it succeeds, the other developers are notified and they're able to download the latest source and continue to work from there. Okay, let's check now what is different when working with Sitecore. But first of all, let's check what is the term continuous delivery. So continuous delivery is the ability to get changes of all types, including new features, configuration changes, bug fixes, and experiments into production or into the hands of user safety and quickly in a sustainable way. Or, in other words, the process where your code changes are going live. This is continuous delivery. So, now let's check what is different when we work with Sitecore. So, we have many more things to deploy. We don't need to deploy just the code. We need to deploy Sitecore templates, the Sitecore layouts, sometimes the Sitecore initial content items that we depend on. And the main question here is, who will deploy the Sitecore items? Okay. So let's check what was the live before we had Hedgehog and we had template serialization at all. So in most of the cases, the developers were used to be working with a shared Sitecore database. Everybody works with the same database. The code used to be living in source control, but the templates and all the metadata and content items were still living in the shared Sitecore database. And when deploying, somebody needs to manually package them and apply them to the target site, for instance, QA, staging, production, etc. There is a lot. There is a possibility for user error because you never know how many templates you have been adding during the last week or so. So it's not really good. Now let's check how TDS changed the game. Now using TDS. The code base and the Sitecore items live together in source control. So you have the TDS project, which keeps them. When you check in your code, the build server builds the web solutions and the web project and the other project, and it builds the TDS project as well. At that point, the Sitecore items are being deployed to your target environment. Just after the DLL pass. Okay, now this diagram illustrates how Razo can be used for content synchronization. You can have your production environment here, and Razo can be adjusted to synchronize the content, to download the content from production to QA, staging, or development server. In that way, you're able, as I said before, you're able to test against the latest content and be able to see some issues or to be testing against real content. Okay? Any questions about that? No? So, we all know that it's not a good idea to have full automation about the production environment. So, in that case, when we are building code for production, TDS has the option for generating update package. It triggers a production build. TDS project is being built. It generates update package. This update package contains your templates and all the changed things from the last build. And what you need to do, you have choosing two packages. The first one is with the DLLs and all the things that are needed to be deployed. The second one is with the templates. You install on CMS the package with the code changes and on CDS as well. And you install the update package only on CMS and you publish the templates to CD. It's really good and works out really, really good. Okay? Any problems? No? Any questions? Problems, of course. Okay, now let's demonstrate that thing. Okay, I will go back in Visual Studio and apply something, some other change here. Sitecore Tech Professionals, for instance, I will save that file. My first the instance that I'm working on is my local dev instance, and if we refresh here, we can see that the modification is applied here. As a continuous integration environment, I've adjusted my QA server. And if we go here in the technical block, you can see that it has the old version of the block. Okay, Hedgehog block. Now what I'm going to do, I will add some templates inside of my dev instance. I will check in my code. This will trigger a build. And all the changes and all the new templates will be automatically deployed to my target continuous integration instance, which is QA. Okay? I'm going here, and I will add something in base, for instance. Oh, I already have a Hedgehog here. Okay. Template. BI, for instance. Okay. Name and test, for instance. Okay. Or something is, I don't know. Okay. I'm saving it. It will be automatically applied again to my instance. Yes, here we go. And now I'm in Team Explorer and we'll check my changes. Okay, pending changes. Okay, and I have a lot of changes. For instance, and I will check in. I have TFS installed locally on my laptop. Okay. I'm going home and I will check what's going with the builds, if the build has been triggered. Yeah, we triggered the build. I believe that it will take some time because my laptop is not so fast. But in the meantime, while we are waiting, I will show you the content synchronization with Razzle. Okay, it's being built, and once it's built, all the changes will be applied to the QA instance. So, Razzle is really good for automatic content synchronization. It can be used in offline mode. You can define Razzle script and execute it against the Razzle executable file. This is really good for automation because you can create a scheduled task and synchronize the different parts. But let's check how this magic happens. Let's say that I want my news folder, or okay, let's check something else, my blog folder to be, the news has more items, the news folder to be automatically synchronized once a day on my QA instance. So I will right click on news folder, get all from left, and I want to override. Okay, now I have the task for copying the folder and all its children. What I'm going to do next, instead of do all, I will click on export task. This will export my task that I've generated here as a Razo script. Razo scripting language is XML based, you will see in a few seconds. Okay, on that, and Razo sync script. Okay, here we go. Let's check the script what we have inside. The first thing that we have are the two connections. Here, the connection and the security access with for them, and the second thing that we have is the operation that I just queued. Okay. In order to execute that, what I need to do is first of all copy the path. Oops. Copy as path. Second, from CMD, of course. Do you see 12 actually? Yeah. Slash script. Okay, and the path to the script. And first of all, Razo checks if everything is okay with the connector, if it can interact with the Sitecore instance. It will take some time. Okay, in the meantime, let's check what's going on with the build. Woohoo! The build failed. We'll check the reason. Yeah, there is something wrong with the glass models. We will generate them. Okay, and now as you can see, Razo is being copying all the items. And now if we go back in Razo and compare them, right click and click on refresh, you can see that everything is being synchronized. In order to synchronize the content, we can create a scheduled task with this simple command and execute it once a day. Okay. Because now I'm going to fix my build. Okay, I will click here and I will regenerate the code for all items. It will automatically create all the POCOs. Take this time. In the meantime, while we are waiting, do you have any questions about the content synchronization, the continuous integration? Okay, yeah?
What about items which were removed from the TDS project? How can they be synced with environment?
No, they cannot be automatically synced because automatic sync option depends on the deployment property manager. If we open it here, the deployment property manager, where you set which folders to be synchronized and which not. So if you mark here some folder not to be synchronized, it won't be synchronized in wipe mode. Okay? So, okay. Now, let's build that. Okay. I'll try to regenerate it one more time. Now it should be good. Nope. Again, I will check just after that and inform you about the problem. It's not related. It's related to some of the glass problems. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you.